My friend, was just talking about this behind me, but 20 minutes of footage, the mic, it has an echo setting. What? It's stupid. We're getting into your reality and your proof today, your foundation, so to speak, of your house in the fitness house. But this actually applies to literally everything and everyone. And even I learned things while making this. So understand that even though you may be ahead of other people, even though you may be behind other people, this is the framework right here. And I wouldn't be teaching it right now if I didn't think it didn't apply to literally everybody. All right. First off, your reality is the soil you build on. Oh, actually, and let's talk about the outcome of this video. You, my friend, are going to be able to identify your constraints and your opportunities in your reality. You're going to be able to understand how to dedicate your time and action and how to use these to build a strong foundation that sustains long-term growth. There you go. That's the reason you're watching this video, and let's get into it, brother. All right. Like I said, your reality is the soil you build on. You would not build a house in the Sahara Desert, would you, bro? Why? Because you'll just sink into the sand. Who wants to do that, bro? You got to build it on some nice, clean soil. But what even is your foundation? I know we're talking about a house, but think about it. It's kind of the place where you plant your roots. And, yep, I guess we're getting religious here. A story in the Bible. They say, Jesus says, and I don't know the exact quote. One of you does, and if you can drop it down below in the comments or let me know, that would be great. He talks about the seeds getting scattered across the side of the road. Some get in the rocky soil and they don't make it. Some get planted in the thorns and the vines and they grow evil, and some get planted in good, strong soil. And those are the righteous ones who grow up to serve God, right? That is reality, real soil. Reality, real. Get that in your head. You grow from real soil, not imagined potential. So you, my friend, may think, I've been really lazy. Been laying around in my bed. I've been scrolling my phone. I know I can be better, but I feel behind. I got to work. And they say you got to work hard. You got to work smart. I'm going to work 15 hours a day. I'm going to work 15 hours a day. That is never going to fucking work, because what? You are laying in your bed, scrolling your phone. You got other issues to worry about, first off. But second off, your brain cannot handle 15 hours of work. Because who would do 15 hours of work? That person that you're imagining you want to be, right? The hard worker who runs a business, owns a business, is successful. He works 15 hours a day, so that's what I have to do. No. You have to do what you have to do. You have to do what the dude who's been laying around in his bed feeling sorry for himself, scrolling on his phone, does to get out of there and to get into the realm of intentional work. So again, you grow from real soil, not imagined potential. And number one point I want to make is a nice little math equation. I know we're getting into math. Get ready and get some notes out. Get some notes out, brother, and start taking some notes. Reality is equal to your constraints and your opportunities. Okay? What even are constraints and opportunities? Well, they are the things that either hold you back or allow you to grow. And some of them, in relation to the fitness house, are your current body and health, your schedule, your responsibilities, your budget, which is your time and money, your environment, and the people around you, right? But understand this. You control all of this. I'm sorry. You control all of this. You define, you assign, you are in control of your constraints and your opportunities. They are in this right. They are these right here: your budget, your environment, and the related things to your goals. You control them. If you're fat, that's on you. Even if it's like, oh, but the people around me are fat and all this stuff. Well, still, and we're gonna learn about this in a little bit. You got to keep it real. And like I said, you grow from real soil, not imagined potential. So you got to keep it real. And so this one little quote, Alex Ramosi, work with what you got. Stop imagining, oh, if I had 20 pounds of muscle, bro, I'd be able to pull all the girls. If I was just a little bit more confident, I'd be able to do all these things. You need to act in accordance to what you have. Work with what you got. All right. If you got a good personality, use that to your advantage. If you got a good body, use that to your advantage. If you're easy on the eyes and you're attractive, use that to your advantage. Stop wishing that you had more and instead use what you got. Even your environment, for example, you're around people that aren't supporting your dreams and your environment isn't good, right? believe it or not, bro, your environment is still your fault, and you got to work with what you got. So instead of, wishing for something else, you should be trying to work with what you already have. You should be trying to talk to the people that's already in your gym, trying out new things. And instead of worrying that everyone's already made up their mind about you, why not come back, renew? And again, we're getting into identity later, but your identity, you recreate your identity. Who are you? You get a very strong reason, very strong belief, and you bring that to other people. They are meeting a new person. They are not meeting who they thought they have seen. They are meeting you now. That means something, and that's how you work your environment and the people around you, even when it's a constraint. Number 2, foundation equals proof. You can't build what you don't measure. Now, I'm not saying go measure your calories and go write down all of your food and go get a journal and write down all of your sets. And even though I like to journal everything that's going on in my life, I'm not saying you got to do that, because your brain is a computer, brother. You do not need to put everything out into the cloud, I guess. How do you have more storage on your phone? Through the cloud, because you're placing it somewhere else. And what happens when a computer gets very slow? What happens when a computer gets very full, right? It starts to move slow. So you got to free up the space. If you don't want to go writing down your calories and writing down this or writing down that, you got to free up your space, brother. You ever watch the Lego movie? Bro, you got to clear your head. You got to allow room for these things to exist. And you'll learn the power of writing things down on other things and putting it into the cloud and organizing and all of that. But you don't need to start with that. You just need to keep it up here and actually track it. And how do you build proof? Through data and evidence. Your lifts, your body stats, your photos, your sleep, your consistency. Your proof shows that your minutes are going in weekly. How many minutes are in a week? You probably don't know it off the top of your head, but I know you got 1,440 minutes per day. And you don't want to spend 15 on Stairmaster. You got 1,440 minutes per day, and you want to use 180 of those minutes scrolling TikTok. It seems like nothing, right, brother? But we're going to get into action time, and you will see that 180 compared to 1,440 is not actually what you have. It's more so 180 to like 560. So you're using 25% of your free time. Still 15 minutes on Stairmaster, bro. Why won't you do it? It's not because you don't have the time. Everybody has the time. And if you want it bad enough, you make time. And how do you make time? Opportunities, constraints, crossing out the constraints, feeding the opportunities. Simple. Quantitative proof keeps it real. And this is the proof that I like. This is objective. This is, I don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. Ben Shapiro. I don't care about your feelings. This is the objective feedback that you're getting. Apply it. Learn from it. And we're going to talk about this later, once you learn how to take that mask of ego that you have off your face, you can actually take the harsh feedback. It's not harsh if you're using the feedback to get better. It is simply the data, the quantitative data that you need to keep it real, to have a strong foundation. Qualitative, and this is the people who go look in the mirror and you go, hey, I got a new vein. Hey, my stomach's slimming down. Hey, I'm looking better. I'm going to keep going because what I'm doing is working. I'm seeing proof that what I am doing is working. It ain't my favorite for actually figuring out what it is that's going to build the strong foundation, but it is a key aspect in keeping you going, especially when we're trying to build a long-term foundation that sustains long-term growth. The fantasy phase, okay? Most people design a plan for their ideal self, not their real self. What do I mean by that? I mean, like I said, with the people laying down in the bed and saying, I'm so behind, I've wasted so much time. Guess what? One lesson I learned is that time is wasted. You can get money back. You can't get your time back. So you trying to make up for all the time you wasted is doing yourself now a disservice. Because what you need to do now that you're awake, you need to do what you need to do to serve your future self. You're not serving the past, you're serving the future. Get that in your head. Drill it in there. Take a note about that one. If your foundation ignores your constraints, it breaks you. You collapse. You feel guilty. You lose momentum. And how are you going to lose momentum? Me right now, because I need to take a fucking shit. And I'm going to stop this video so I can go do that. Oh, brother. Cook your chicken good. Make sure that shit ain't pink on the inside, because I'll tell you right now, that shit'll fuck your stomach up. OD, you're going to be pissing out your asshole if you don't get your chicken right. I thought I cooked it good this time. I really did. But I didn't. Let's get back into the fantasy phase, right? So we talked about how people design a plan for their ideal self, not their real self, right? That's why I'm stressing the quantitative and qualitative, and why I'm saying quantitative goes over qualitative after a certain point. Because yes, in the beginning, you want those qualitative to keep you going, because You haven't really stayed disciplined with things before. You're trying to train your discipline. And yes, qualitative is a great way to train, to get the reps in, to be able to keep going. But if you're going to improve, what happens? Quantitative keeps it real. You grow from reality. Understand? You following? All right. And what did I say? Foundation, if it ignores your constraints, it breaks you. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, when you lose momentum, brother, it is the easiest form of energy you have going in the right way. And what is momentum? Okay, and I can't think of the the literal definition from physics off of the top of my head, but my understanding of momentum is, let's say you're going 20 miles per hour in this direction, right? But you're not using any energy to maintain that 20 miles per hour. You have momentum. Now, if you stop from zero, you're going to have to push and push and push and push to get back to that 20 miles per hour. And you're using an applied force. You're using your energy. You're using action in time. You want action in time to be working already for you. Oh my God. Power outage. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding, bro. You want to be using your action in time to continuously accelerate, right? To go in the right direction, to fuel your direction, to whatever. I guess we'll cut that part out. But you want to be using your action in time wisely. And we'll get into that later in the video series. But the fix for the fantasy phase, and now that I described it to you, do you understand that, oh, maybe you do this to yourself? You're saying, I need to do this and this and this to make up for lost time, but you can't make up for lost time. You can only serve yourself now. The fix is to build around true constraints. And again, that's why I stress the quantitative, because in order to find true constraints, you have to quantitatively assess your opportunities and your constraints and actively identify them. Because if you identify your constraints and your opportunities, but you're using qualitative, and you're like, oh, but like this would be good or this would be good. It's like this is good or this is not good. And when you use that and you apply it here, you'll see later, and when I talk about this equation, why you do that. Okay? And again, reality, real constraints, real opportunities. And the fix, you design boundaries and you negate excuses. I don't like excuses. I don't care what it is. If it's a reason you can't do something, it's an excuse, because you can always, if there's a will, there's a way. That is one strong core belief of mine, is that if there's a will, there's a way. You can do anything. Let's get into the next. Dedicate action and time. You want to audit your constraints and your opportunities in order of biggest change. Okay? Let's say you're using 5 hours. We skipped a part. You want to assign real value to time. You work at Amazon and you made $20 an hour working in the factory. That has nothing to do with the factory and the fact that you assign a value of $20 to your time. So, if you're using 5 hours of time, let's say you're using 3 hours of time and you use it for laundry, cleaning your car, cleaning your room, whatever. Those 3 hours, each hour is worth $20. That was worth $60 to you. Is that a trade you would like to make? You got to ask yourself these questions in order to identify your true constraints and your true opportunities. An opportunity, 3 hours, but you get an $800 outcome. Right? But if you're too constrained, if you don't have enough time to feed this opportunity can leave. And when this opportunity leaves, it says, bye-bye. I gave you your chance, not for you. Life doesn't wait for you. You either strike when you can or you don't. And that's that. You know, a lot of the time, life has a way of giving you skill-based matchmaking here, okay? You are going to identify opportunities, and when you're a beginner, those opportunities, you'll have a big window in order to strike, so you'll recognize it, you'll be able to have a little bit of a wiggle room, margin of error, you know, thinking, should I not, and then actually doing it. But when you need opportunities, when one door closes and you're thinking, what am I going to do next? An opportunity is going to come your way, and you're not going to have that time to think, oh, should I or should I not? You have to be very certain. You go, opportunity, strike, bang. And you get that shit because you needed that opportunity bad. And this actually applies to a whole lot of everything that I talk to. Believe it or not, everything that I talk about in the previous video, it all sits on top of this. Okay? Nothing else matters if this is not in check, which is why this is the first actual teaching that you're getting. If this is not in check, nothing else matters. And I want you to drill that in your head. I want you to write that down. Now, I mean, I guess we don't need to prioritize your return on time, right? Free time to feed your direction, right? You want to free time. You want to free your constraints to feed your opportunities. You want to free your constraints to feed your opportunities. Write that one down too. Free constraints to feed opportunities. That's how the game is played. Now we actually get into the last part, directions and identity. Your beliefs determine your... I guess I don't even know what I'm talking about. I do though. Your beliefs drive your direction. Your direction dictates your goals. Your goals determine your plan. Okay? Write that one down. Because at the end of the day, you're going to notice everything connects back to your beliefs and your identity. And we're going to be talking about that later, but I want you to understand that these small things that you're thinking about, your beliefs, your identity, who am I? Why is this so important to know? Because these are determining factors in the entire structure that everything else in your life sits on. You know, you can't beat around the bush about your beliefs and your identities. You need to be strong. You need to be certain. Because like I said with the opportunities before, there's going to be a time in your life where you need an opportunity. Where everything is going to come crashing down if you do not get that opportunity. And like I said, life will give you an opportunity, but it's going to be a very, very small window. You are not going to have any time to question yourself. You are not going to have any time to think. You're going to have to, at one point, recognize opportunity and strike. That, my friend, is how you get far in life. Last equation, your reality plus your proof equals a foundation that sustains long-term growth. Why is that so important? Because everybody wants to be wheat. Everybody wants to be flowers. Everyone wants to, have this one big grow up and think that's it. Be a tree. The tree of life. Trees still bloom. In the fall, it's fall right now. It's so beautiful. Change is beautiful. You turn orange and yellow and red. And all the leaves are falling and it's just this vibe. It's beautiful. But it's intentional. It's happening because of the changes in the environment, the changes that the tree is receiving. It is an intentional change. Intentional change is beautiful. And they go, and all of a sudden winter comes, and all the trees are bare. And all you're seeing is the stems. All you're seeing is the structure that supports the blooming. And then what happens when spring comes? They bloom again. Then you're in a sea of green, and it's beautiful, and it's summer, and the sun is shining, and the leaves are green, and life's great. But then fall comes, and it changes. The leaves die, and the leaves fall. And it happens over and over and over again, and it's a cycle, but it's an intentional cycle. It repeats and repeats. It's a cycle of growth and death, and growth and death, and growth and death. But the death is intentional in order to grow. And you don't recognize it during winter, but those trees, they're getting ready for the spring. They are ready to bloom and grow again. So be a tree. Don't be a flower. Be a tree. Why? Because a tree is a actual real life application of a foundation that sustains long-term growth. If a tree were to, be green all the time, it would be an evergreen tree, right? That means it wouldn't shed its leaves. And that comes with its own trade-offs. But that entire system of an evergreen tree is intentional. It is specifically designed for the environment it's in. And now, the last part, I want to challenge you. I want you to list your top 3 constraints and opportunities. And I want you to eliminate one strength and use that time that you're free. Because remember, what is a constraint actually? A constraint is actually just, time wasted, because that's your only actual currency besides money, right? Eliminate one constraint and use it to feed an opportunity. Because that's how you compound proof in reality. That, my friend, was video 1. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.